Welcome to Go with Gustav. My name's Chris.
And I'm Rachel.
This is Sprocket.
And this is Tassie. Come and join us on our adventures.
But don't forget to like
and subscribe
and hit the notification bell.
Take the exit towards Tamworth.
No, I didn't, because I didn't know what time we were going to get here.
Oh, right, okay, so pay your car park when you go in the main building. Don't
Oh, right.
pay me.
Okay.
So pay when you go.
Where's the car go?
We've gone in the wrong way, really. If you look at it.
Well, no, you go to where, I think that car should have gone.
So the arrow points that way.
Yeah, but you go to where the chaps are, don't you?
There's lots of volunteers.
Loads of volunteers. So did you read the map while I was gone?
There's one.
Welcome back to Go with Gustav, and today we have arrived at the National Memorial Arboretum, which is somewhere we've never been before. Neither of us have been here before. We've driven past before, but we've never come in. And I've got to say, I was probably a little bit naive just to think it was the big memorial that you see on the TV, but it's far more than that. I think there's over 400 memorials here. Lots and lots of people here to give you information and tell you where to go and what you can do and what you can look at. The only place we can't go with the dogs is the big memorial, where we're coming up to in a minute, but there's benches where we can sit. I can see a dog just tethered up actually on a bench. Can you see that up there? So but as soon as we've come in, it's beautiful, quite modern. The entrance hall is very modern, a big cafe and restaurant there. There was about 7 or 8 people just waiting to help us as we came in, made fuss of the dogs. Very, very nice. We've sort of planned a route around. It'll take us up to different parts of the outsides of this. There's a train. There's a gentleman up here explaining everything to you that you need to know, and basically all the names on the wall are people that have died since the Second World War. And they're in chronological order, not alphabetical order, of how they died. They don't show gender and they don't show rank, because everyone's equal in death. Such a huge place, and it's up to date as far as last year. Someone comes every year to update it. It's future proof because there's lots of places on the outside to continue adding names. So it comes up to here. 2023. See through. 11 o'clock on the 11th of November, sun shines through onto this roof. Wow. So the dogs have stayed down here while I've been up there. Yeah, quite emotional. So we're surprised at how many people are here, as it's late October. The car park was nearly full. But it's a huge, huge place. And the monuments are everywhere. Lots of benches so you can sit down and think about things, contemplate. And a very peaceful place. It was quite emotional speaking to the information chap up on the main monument. So we've just sat through the talk about those being shot at dawn. Where was it? 309?
Yeah.
309 posts represent all those that were shot at dawn by ourselves for desertion and throwing their weapons down and various other things. So Tony Blair's government got all 309 of those that were shot pardoned in a carefully worded document that didn't get them their pensions back, but got rid of the stigma. In those days, people didn't know about post-traumatic stress disorder, which is obviously now a thing, so people behaved differently. And also people had signed up underage, they still got shot. One of the interesting things was the firing squad was actually friends of the person being shot. It was chosen by the officers. Filming this one particularly for my brother, who's a volunteer for the RNLI down on Hayling Island. You can go on these land trains that take you around, and they're giving a commentary as they go around the park. So this is a real section from the Burma Railway. We've just come to find the Commando Memorial. Although Rachel's father didn't die in the war, he was a commando. Lied about his age, got into the army at the age of 16. We've had a very worthwhile visit here to the Arboretum. Much bigger than I anticipated it would be. Quite emotional in places, as you would expect. But we're so glad that we came, and we would recommend anybody else to come here too. We're going to make our way back to Gustav now, and we're going to head off to a pub, and this will be our first ever free pub stopover, which we've arranged particularly because it's close to the Arboretum. We've rang them up, checked that's okay, and they said yes, so we're going to see how we get on there. So the next bit will be the arriving at the pub. So we've arrived at Ragley Boat Stop, which is a pub with a huge car park. We found it on Park for Night. The only thing they said when we rang up was to park in this top left-hand corner as you look away from the pub, which is what we've done. There's a little bit of road noise in the back, but actually inside the motorhome you can't hear that. It looks like it's got lighting through the night, and it's got CCTV. Lots of grass, which is good for the dogs. And at the far end of the pub garden is the canal. We're not sure if we can walk along the canal because it looks like the canal path is the other side of the canal. So we probably won't be able to do that tonight. So we're just going to go in and have a meal at the pub. We're just walking the dogs on the grass first. I can't actually remember if the pub is dog friendly or not, so we're going to have to go in and ask, otherwise they'll go back to the motorhome and we'll have a nice meal without them, which I think is a good thing anyway, but there we go.
They're on holiday with us.
I know they're on holiday. We can see the whole place is now lit up. So the lady said anywhere that's not carpeted.
They're following you, Chris.
Oh, well, give me mine. In there on the left.
Yeah.
Right, let's go. So we've had an undisturbed night here at Ragley Boat Stop. As you can see now, the car park is completely empty apart from one car at the other end. The only thing for me is you can hear that road noise in the background, and that did keep me awake a little bit, and I didn't think it would do. Didn't keep Rachel awake. And then at 5:30 you're on the flight path for some low airplanes going into an airport somewhere. But having said that, you know, it was free, and we would certainly do it again. We did have a car arrive at 7:30, parked next to us, and an old chap got out and walked his dog up here. He was only gone 5 minutes, I'm not sure why he did that. And that brings you out to the fields here. There's a sort of dirt track in the fields. I suppose you can walk along there with the dogs. Now we're only away for one night, which seems a bit odd. We could have been away for longer, but in fact we're here for a different purpose. If you've been following our vlogs, certainly the one at the NEC, I was in search for an awning, which we didn't manage to get an awning at the NEC. The one fault about the NEC was that all the awnings were mixed up, and we hadn't really done our research into the fact that motorhome and caravan awnings are different and different heights. Didn't really think about that, and you couldn't really tell. There wasn't a motorhome awning section and a caravan awning section, so it made it really confusing. Anyway, so we thought we'd carry on our search afterwards, and in the Adamo Facebook group this had been discussed. I'd said something like this, and one of the Adamo owners said they were selling theirs. They've only used it once, changing their motorhome, I think. I'm not quite sure. So we're up here actually to collect the awning. Obviously I'm not going to film that, but that's why we're here. It was a good excuse to visit the National Memorial Arboretum, which I've been wanting to do for a long time. And then when we pack up this morning, we're going to go off to a local national trust here that we've not been to before, and that will give the dogs a good walk. I am going to film as we leave here and go along the canal again, because although it might have gone very fast on the approach, we came over a bridge which was quite narrow and you had to go onto the other side of the road. Well, there was a driver who didn't really want me to do that for some reason. They stopped, so I swung onto the other side of the road, and then they moved forward and made some funny faces, like I should have given her right of way, which would have been impossible because I'd have to back over the bridge. So I'm going to video that, just because if you've got a longer motorhome, or if you tow, I wouldn't advise doing it if you were towing a car behind. It is quite tight. Fine for 7.5 meters, but if I film it, you can make those judgments if you want to do this yourself. And the food was good. It's a King's Tavern franchise, and we've got one of those near home, and it's you might describe it as cheap and cheerful, but it was good food. Large portions, you're not going to leave hungry. Now these lights were on when it went dark, they automatically tripped on. Very, very bright. We thought they were going to be on all night, but come 11:30 they went out and it was pitch black. There's no city lights showing up from here, even though we are south of Derby. Derby is in that direction, I believe. house then. So we've arrived at the Children's Country House at Sudbury. It's National Trust. The car park has a dedicated motorhome area with the coaches, and we're the only ones in it at the moment. There's no ticket to be got there, so that part of it is free. And then everyone's heading down towards the house, and there's lots of scarecrows and things around because it's late October and it's sort of Halloween time, and also it's the first day of half term, so there's a fair number of children around. So we've come inside the hall. They said it's okay to film. It's going to be a very quick tour because if Rachel's outside with the dogs, we've got to come in one at a time. That's very nice, isn't it? Oh wow.
It's quite something.
That is huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the second longest long gallery in the country.
I was going to say, I was trying to think where I might have seen something similar. I can't.
Well, lots of places have them, but the longest one is at Montacute House in Somerset.
Ah, yes, we've done that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I've been there as well, and it's longer than this, but it's lower and it's not ornate like that. It's got
No.
lots of artwork, I think, in it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I've got to move on quickly because my
Yes,
wife's
yes.
outside with the dogs, so she'll be in a minute.
Right.
Good morning. I understand I'm the first visitor round.
I know, welcome.
I feel very privileged.
This was Lady Vernon's bedroom.
Right. That's lovely, isn't it? She must be a very tall person to see through the mirror.
I haven't had one visitor that would be tall
No,
enough to see.
not even to see through the bottom part of it.
Now this is Lord Vernon's bedroom, which is very different.
Oh yeah, that's more like a servant's bedroom.
It is, but the ladies always had the biggest and the best bedroom.
Why did they have separate bedrooms?
Well, the men had a bedroom,
Right.
but note the
Oh,
connecting
so you go
door. Yeah,
Maybe they snored.
lots of people that come through say, "Oh, that's all right. He snores or she snores."
That's what my wife would say. Nice to see you. Thank you very much.
The lady with the dogs.
There's two golden retrievers outside.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my wife. So now it's my turn with the dogs, while Rachel has gone into the hall. So we've both been in the house. I missed half of it apparently. I missed the kitchens, so that's not in the video. We've been in the Children's Toy Museum, which is quite interesting. It's quite large area, different things. Got Doctor Who TARDIS.
Yeah, I saw that. No, it was a
No,
Dalek.
all right.
It was a Doctor Who Dalek.
And a little train running around, although Rachel missed that. There's something I saw that she didn't. So we've come down for a little walk along by the lake and the back of the house, which is very, very nice. We've just had hot chocolate and cake, and now we're just going to explore. There's a sort of shopping courtyard. Oh, just have a nose. No pressure.
It's a great look. This one's actually relatively straightforward. This one just needs a new hairdo and a bit of paint. Then we get more surgical up here. This is like the surgical ward. Need a little bit more love. Fantastic. Yes, all shapes and sizes. And this one I'm making for
It's
Christmas.
over there.
Yeah.
Is that an old fairground?
That is, yeah. That's about 1880, 1890.
Wow. So we've just finished our visit to the National Trust. If you come, we highly recommend you go in the house first, because that's when they have the guides that know what they're talking about, and they do mainly in the morning, and most people sort of bypass the house and go straight into the gardens. So I was the first person going round, and as such I'm going to leave most of the video unedited, I think, because it was quite interesting to see. Normally I'd just edit a few things, but I thought it was really interesting, so I'm going to leave that bit in. Our only criticism is they could do with a couple of benches out the front, because if you've got dogs you have to take turns and there's nowhere to sit. So Rachel and I were sitting on a large concrete ball looking like gnomes as we took our turns
It was damp
going in,
as well.
and it's a little bit damp. Yeah, but as a place to visit, highly recommended. Very, very good. And now it's time to go home. See you on the next one.